Number 5. Hello everyone and welcome to one of our first ever top 5 videos here on UMadBroz. Today's the first in a new cluster of special top 5-y videos that I cannot speak to save my life. But today we're doing top 5 paid PlayStation VR titles. This is of course my humble opinion and it's only based on games I've played. I've recently acquired Beat Saber, have not yet tried it, so that will not be on this list regardless how good I found it in the later future. I will probably mention it in a later video if it did deserve to be on this list or not. But as of now, I have no input on that game. But number 5, coming in at number 5 is Batman Arkham VR, as you can see right here. Now this will be a different review to what you're used to seeing on YouTube. Normal reviewers will just be talking over footage of them playing the game, but I'll be talking as I'm playing the game. So all this footage will be recorded live, as you can see with my hands going left, up, downy, spinny spin. So yeah, also I talk really weird when I'm looking at stuff because I've not played Batman Arkham VR in about a year. And this looks beautiful. This is my humble opinion, and it is my top 5 paid PlayStation VR titles for anyone that's new to PlayStation VR or has got one and doesn't know what else to buy. But also I'm trying to make the list varied, so if I was going off my genuine opinion on what I found most fun, I would obviously have Skyrim and Borderlands 2 VR at the top of this list. Spoiler alert now, no, they are not on this list. I wanted to go for generally more exclusive VR titles that you can only play on PlayStation VR or only play on VR. So Batman Arkham VR being one of them, obviously, because it's the VR version of Batman Arkham. It is its own game, so Borderlands 2 VR is just Borderlands 2 in VR, Skyrim is just Skyrim in VR, so they will not be on this list because they have been on some platform other than VR. So let's jump right into this as to why I think this is the 5th best game you can pay for to get on PlayStation VR based on all the rules I've just explained. Right, coming in as my first main point as to why I think this is a just beautiful VR title. It of course holds a close place to my heart because this was one of the first ever games I did play in PlayStation VR, and the graphics on it are phenomenal. Just the blood on Bruce's knuckles, well, on my knuckles. You can obviously close your hand as slow as you want, like gently close it, opens back up. The detail on it, everything in the environment is fully like grabbable and touchable. You can pick up anything. There's like a song sheet here you can look at, and it has like different songs on it, I guess, and just the picture of Thomas and Martha Wayne and Bruce and all that. Anything will teleport back, so if you drop something you do lose it. You don't lose it. As you can see, there's like loads of different stuff. There's tapes to match boxes and all sorts to grab. But yeah, interactiveness is the general first thing. Plus, this game focuses more on the detective side of Batman rather than the fist-fighty side, which I do like. Hang on, that phone's ringing. Let me just shut that up. Yeah, it focuses more on the detective side of Batman rather than the more crime-fighting version, which I do really like because all the other Arkham games are focused more on punching people. This one's more about the detective side and has a really good story, which I'm not going to spoil in this video, but just look at it. Every piano, like, the developer in an interview said that he wanted every key to be, like, spot on, like, perfect, and just look at what is happening on screen here. This is in the first 5 minutes, so it's not spoiling too much, but just look at generally what is going on screen right now. You are in, well, not the Batcave yet, because I'm not going to show the Batcave in this video much, but oh, just look at it. It's been like a year since I've seen this.
Batsuit version 7.13.
Oh, it's the Batsuit. And right here, in a minute, you will see exactly why I think this is the 5th best game on VR. Because, as you can see right now, I've put on, you've got the belt on yourself as well, you'll probably not be able to see that. It's one of the only VR games where you can actually slot stuff off your belt. Hang on, any minute now you will see exactly why I think this is probably the 5th best VR title. Slot these on. Just look, the graphics on these gloves, the graphics on everything. Putting on the cowl is one of the most satisfying things you can do in PlayStation VR. Just slotting on the back cowl adds a kind of rim around your eyes so you can kind of see it. But right there, look at it. What's going on screen right now? Any of you probably never thought you'd see Batman hit the dab or the whip. But right there is a reason why I think this is probably the 5th best VR game. Just look at it, seeing yourself as Batman and just the full body view as well. Just the Batman and the arms, and fully follows exactly what you're doing with your arms and the Macarena or whatever other dances you want to do with Batman. But right here is one of the main reasons. I don't know what else to say. It's got good graphics, good gameplay. It's a nice length. There's Riddler trophies in it for you that like hunting Riddler trophies and stuff like that. Now you guys can actually see what I'm doing while I'm talking to you. Yeah, there are Riddler trophies, you know, those question marky things while you're playing through the game, so that is still in it. The riddles where you got to get the question mark and the dot to line up, that kind of stuff is still in it. You get gadgets later on which slot around your belt right here, and that is wonderful, just taking stuff off your belt, firing it, throwing batarangs. You do get batarangs in this game. So yeah, Batman Arkham VR for my 5th game in the list. I'm clapping like a little girl, but yep, so click that, and let's jump right on to number 4. The best paid VR games. There will be 2 more videos after this. There'll be the best free VR games and what is my personal favourite VR headset, which to anyone who watches this channel should be obvious, but I'll obviously talk in more detail about it. But yep, slot that on the belt, and let's get, I forgot how to do it. There we go. Wait, what? There we go. But yeah, at any point you can just slot it on your belt, slot it on your belt again, off your belt, on your belt. It's wonderful. The detective scanner that you always have. Yeah, let's just run to number 4. Let me stop just droning on about stuff now. Number 4! Okay, jumping in at number 4 is... PlayStation VR Worlds. Now, for any VR owner, this is most likely going to be the first title you ever play, as a demo for this game is free to install and is generally just the first thing you should try picking up when you get it. The demo, especially the demo's good, and then the full version is just, it's the perfect way. It's got 5 games that are perfectly designed to make it the perfect introduction to virtual reality for anyone that has not played. You have the cage one where you go underwater in various different deep sea dives, which is perfect for people who don't know how to use a controller. You can put them in that and they can experience just the joy of being in a virtual world. There is a VR ball game where you play kind of Pong but with your head and you blast that back into, I think it's called Danger Ball or something along those lines. I may as well just show you guys actually on the screen. You've got Ocean Descent, yes, the deep sea dive one. Also, the hub for this world is wonderful. That's one of the main things about VR which are good. Every game has their own like mini hub world. Your DualShock is fully realised in virtual reality. This is exactly how I'm holding it now. It gets a mini torch that beautifully reflects off of the water and just that. Each of these games have their own one. Yes, so there's Ocean Descent, you dive down in various deep sea dives, Danger Ball, and all these balls in the middle are interactable. You can blast that ball around and it will come back to you, and it is wonderfully satisfying. I have stayed here for multiple minutes, virtually every time I boot this up, just blasting this ball back into, hit it, just boom, watch it break the environment and go around the room. Yes, that's good. The London Heist is my personal favourite on this thing. As you can see, there are bullets and a diamond in front of you that you can hit with your DualShock. Every bullet is realised and can be touched. It's really satisfying just seeing this in slow motion. But that is my personal favourite recommendation if you are going on to the London Heist. VR Luge is not a massive thing for me. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it is pretty good. You kind of like tilt your head left and right and you're sliding through traffic and you've got to like, avoid the cars. So it is overall pretty decent. It is not, it's probably the worst out of the 5 on this list, but they're all generally really, really good. You can scrape your DualShock, which feels good because the controller vibrates more fierce than anything I've ever felt. You can like proper grind your controller against it and punch it and headbutt it. And then Scavenger's Odyssey is one of the few on this list I have not completed. I have played about 2 hours of it. I have restarted it about 2 or 3 times, but have never actually fully finished it. It's really cool. You're in space, you're in like an alien mech suit, and you just go around shooting alien spiders and stuff like that. And is overall really, really good. And has some of the best graphics. Especially the London Heist, that has some beautiful graphics. But yeah guys, I'm not going to show you guys anything mainly from this. My 2 main recommendations are the London Heist and Ocean Descent. More specifically, the Shark Encounter Ocean Descent. Anyone that owns a VR or has seen VR has most likely seen Shark Encounter. If you see anything from PlayStation VR, it was one of the first things, if not the first thing ever to be released for PlayStation VR, and it is exactly what it says in the title, plus more. It is basically, if you want a general quick gist of it, it is basically Jaws VR in a nutshell. So yeah guys, this is my number 4 pick for top 5 best paid games. It is the perfect starting game. If we're going for top 5 games to start off your VR collection, this should definitely be at the top of that list. But we're going off general best fun times I've had. This was just a big stepping point for me because it was the first thing I ever saw in PlayStation VR. So for that, it has a close place to my heart. So yep, let's jump right into. I never even noticed the shadows of the text as well. I've not actually noticed that. That is great. Oh, it's beautiful. But yeah, this is number 4. Let's jump right into number 3. Not going to show you guys the gameplay of this, but generally graphics good, gameplay good. London Heist is exactly what it says. You're doing a heist, you use the move controls. You can use the DualShock, I do believe. But move controls, shoot people. It's really satisfying. It's very good to learn the basics of all things, using all the different kinds of controls. Head, leaning, DualShock, no controller, move controllers. Only one it does not use is aim controller because it was not out at that time. But yes, this game overall wonderful. Let's jump right into number 3. Number 3. Right guys, number 3 on my list is Accounting Plus VR. Now, just from the name Accounting VR, you may think this game is going to be boring and sounds bad, but that is the point. If I remember correctly, this game is made by the same team that made Rick and Morty VR. And yes, so there are some actors from Rick and Morty in here, and it has the exact same humour pretty much as Rick and Morty. But I don't want to show you too much of the game because the whole point of this game is being surprised and seeing things for the first time. Because it is, for the small price of like £10 or however much this was, it was quite cheap. It is one of the best like 3-hour, 4-hour spans I've ever spent in my life. It is so funny. I was in tears at some point laughing at some of the humour. It is really funny. The graphics are good. Your hands are the mice that you use on computers. Just all the physics work wonderfully. It's just really fun in general. Just screw around on. Oops, I accidentally pressed new game. This voice actor is so like seductive in his way he talks that he might be drowning me out right now, I do not know. But yeah guys, everything on this game is wonderful. Take my word for it. If you liked Rick and Morty or their kind of humour, you will absolutely adore this game. Plus, are you smart enough to play Accounting Plus VR? I don't want to spoil much of this because it's like, I think about, I can't stop him talking now. Stop.
Part 1.
That is a thing. This game's going to be hard to showcase, so I'm going to talk fast. Because pretty much this entire game is just ear destroying. No one shuts up in this game. All NPCs are programmed with multiple hours of just non-stop talking in every scene. So if you do just stand still, they will continue to talk continuously for the entire scene until you move. Okay, you turn around. Also,
you did a really good job.
yep, he gives you trophies for almost anything. If you are a platinum hunter, that is one of the other main reasons to get this game. If you are a platinum hunter or trophy hunter in general, this game has one of the easiest platinums. They're all gold trophies, and there are about 10 trophies all gold on this game, and takes about 3 hours. Here's a gold trophy I just got then, just in the space of a minute talking about this. But yes, this is one of the most wonderful games I have played in PlayStation VR. It is generally hysterical. I was crying laughing at some parts of this. It's all wonderful. Trophy hunters, you get a platinum really easily. 10 gold trophies and a platinum in about a 4-hour span. Let's just continue this to just... Oh my god, this man does not shut up. But oh my god, there's so much... If you don't like swearing, then definitely don't get this. There is quite a lot of swearing in this game. In the first like 10 minutes, you must hear multiple swear words just machine gunned at you in quite a quick span. The humour's fantastic. Everything is fantastic. At the end of this video, I'll do a kind of my marks out of 10 and give it each of these games, so then you'll see my general sum up. But right, let's jump straight onto number 2 and go into the next one. Number 2. Right, coming in at the number 2 spot, obviously is going to be Super Hot VR. Oh my gilly gosh. I had seen a lot of footage on Super Hot non-VR version over the years, and it did look very good, but playing it in VR is absolutely phenomenal. It's one of the few VR games I frequently go back to just for a screw around because it is that fun. I'm going to show you guys a bit of footage now. I don't know what one to actually put it on. I may. There are the different cartridges. It is also the main reason I said I wasn't putting anything on here that's not on VR. This is actually a different Super Hot to the one that is not on VR. It has a slightly different story. There isn't as much campaign-based stuff to it. But yeah, it is different to the non-VR version in a few ways, plus there is no slow motion action replays like there is in the normal version. But everything else on this is absolutely fantastic. I cannot get this through my head most. I'm just going to go to like the middle kind of bit and show you guys a bit of gameplay from this. Obviously, if you know super hot, standing still, everything else stands still. The more you move, the more everything else moves. Time moves as you move. But right here, just bang, take that guy down. If I stand still, he freezes. If I move a bit, he moves a bit. Now, it's going to be really hard to show this off while talking. Just got a trophy from booting this game up for killing, I think that's 100 enemies with shotguns. So there you go, guys, you just witnessed me get a trophy live. But yeah, gameplay is 10 out of 10 on its own. It's so much fun. I experienced no glitches or anything with this game. It's just really, really fun to screw around on. I can't seem to open that suitcase. One of my fingers does appear broken in that hand, in fact. It's really weird. But yeah, oh, last words, I love this bit. All these people shoot you with shotguns, you dodge them. And then before they fire again, grab it. Then it says take your revenge or surprise. And then if you die, well, you die. Can't really talk while playing this game. This is very difficult to review live. This is the one drawback to me wanting to do this live. Gameplay, 10 out of 10. Story doesn't massively have one. It's kind of one of those where the kind of fans make the story themselves in the way that it gives you little snippets of like lore, like games like Everyone's Gone to the Rapture and stuff like that, where no one fully knows what happens. There's things like that, and Limbo, where like people can generally get a gist of what went down but have absolutely no idea other than that of the actual kind of scale of the main campaign. Oh my god, talking while trying to aim. There we go, I did a chapter. Oh, this game is also quite a workout because you've got to proper lean back and squat and quickly punch and react in some bits. But there you go, guys, that is a snippet of this game. Overall, oh, this game is too good. This is definitely my second favourite game in VR. You can also shoot yourself, which does take you back to the home screen, which I think is a nice, neat feature. Anytime you just want to get back to the home screen, just shoot yourself. Other than that, it's just really good graphics. Not impeccable, but also really, really cool. Your trophy lists are all like post-its in this wall, so you don't need to open up your trophy list. It's really immersive. You can just look at all the trophies you have remaining on the wall there. And yeah, guys, this game is phenomenal, but let's not waste any more time. Let's jump. I have mentioned this before. Let me jump right now into my #1 PlayStation VR title. It is a PlayStation VR exclusive, and one of the other reasons why I think PlayStation VR is just a damn beautiful headset. And there's nothing more I can say. It is just a flawless game, to say the least. Let's jump right into that now. I'll see you all then.
#1.
Alright guys, my #1 game for PlayStation VR is Astro Bot VR. Astro Bot Rescue Mission is... Okay, let me click continue first because that noise is going to completely drown out me talking. Astro Bot VR, hang on, there's a little snippet of what I look like. Thank God I recorded this in pitch black, otherwise you guys would get a little sneak preview right there of exactly what I look like while playing VR, which no one likes being seen while they play this. So then, slap control. Here's one of the main reasons I think this is cool. It's so immersive, it uses your head and control really smartly throughout the game. Especially with this, your control vibrates to hell, and you see it transform right before your eyes. I don't know why they have not... Oh, Astro Bot, I forgot about you. Look at the graphics on this as well. This is my personal favourite graphics from PlayStation VR. I'm not going to look around too much, I'm just going to look to my left. Because to the right will spoil what is on the subsequent worlds after World 1 and 2. But yes, it is like Super Mario games of old. The game split into worlds. It is in a gist a kind of top-downy, kind of Super Mario 64-esque platforming game where you control Astrobot. People get this mistaken, saying like you play as Astrobot. No, you control Astrobot, but you're actually playing as... You might be able to see my robot body, but you actually play as a big floating robot. And yes, you do control Astrobot, where you're more like telling him what to do, but you do actually technically play as a big like robot person. If you guys have played the Playroom VR and have done the claw machine kind of mini game where you win tokens and you can put them in that machine. That is one of the best things on VR by far, but that is also in this on the Astro ship. Not going to show you because then you will get a lot of stuff spoiled through the main campaign, because you win kind of prizes based on objects and bosses from the main campaign. I'll just jump right into any stage. The soundtracks as well, these are my personal favourite soundtracks from any game. The level I'm going on to right now, the third stage of the game, has my second favourite soundtrack from the game. One of the later levels on one of the last worlds does have my favourite soundtrack. I don't want to show you guys that because that will spoil a very late game level. But this is by far my favourite game. Gameplay, spawn, music, some of my favourite music, including one of my favourite, if not my favourite soundtracks from any game. The soundtrack itself, it's called Fire in Your Mind. It is very good. Just look at that. The world builds itself around you. You fling Astro Bot off your control using your forefinger, and then you control him, camera goes along with you. But just look at this game. The graphics on it are absolutely impeccable. I may even go for the platinum on this game, that's how much I like it. I usually tend to go for platinums on games I really enjoy. Recently got the platinum for Far Cry 5, but gameplay wise, beautiful. The soundtrack starts roughly when you get past this bit. Also, it interacts with your head as well as Astro Bot down there and your control, so your control will do stuff later on. And also, things can hit your head as well. The traps in the game are not just for Astro Bot, they are also for you. They will crack your screen, make it harder for you to see. But yeah guys, this is by far, not even arguably, Japan Studio are just too good. This is by far my favourite game for PlayStation VR. Plus it is a PlayStation, I just died there and cannot play and talk at the same time. But this is by far, this is one of the reasons I think PlayStation VR is undoubtedly one of, if not the best headset. I'm not going to spoil which one I do think is the best headset because I've not yet brought out the video. But Astro Bot is on its own a reason why people could easily think this is the best VR headset, because this as an exclusive just trumps any game on any of the VR headsets. If you guys disagree, please leave that down below as to why you disagree. But yes guys, I'll jump now to the final part of this video where I will generally give a 10 out of 10 rating for all these games. Rate them for story, gameplay and graphics will be the three main headings. They'll earn kind of the 3-point counter, which will all go into deciding how much 10 out of 10 is. But just listen to the soundtrack. Trust me, through an audio headset, Fire in Your Mind is such a good kind of rock beat. Just everything's really good on this game. Just, it's completely flawless, no glitches, no nothing. The game is impeccable. The point of the game is that obviously Astro Bot Rescue Mission. You rescue Astro Bots, they're the collectibles in the game, well they're some of the collectibles in the game. There's also a very clever collectible which could only be done in PlayStation VR. None of the other kind of platforms could physically have this kind of thing. There are these things which I like to call camel chameleons, and actually called, I'm pretty sure they're called space chameleons. And they're chameleons that blend in perfectly. I can't show you one now because I've collected them all on this level. But you pretty much, the way you collect them is by staring at them, so the game understands that you have spotted it. But they are really well hidden and blend in so perfectly with the environment that some of them I've missed 2 or 3 playthroughs of the level and still have not found that thing. But yeah guys, this is by far my #1 game. We jump now to the top 10 ratings, and I'll see you all in the next video after that. Welcome to the end of this video where I'm just going to do a quick run through of the 5 games mentioned in this list and talk about my 10 out of 10 rating of the 1 10 out of 10, my out of 10 rating for all those games. Coming in at number 5 was Batman Arkham VR. A overall wonderful game. Graphics, I'm going to give a wonderful 8. Overall, it looks pretty damn realistic. It is wonderful, it is fun. I've replayed the game I think 3 times now overall, roughly. It is a very good game, not too expensive. The only main issue is it's not very long and does not have any fight scenes, but other than that it is a overall wonderful game, so I'm going to give Batman Arkham VR a solid 7 out of 10 overall. It's just generally a wonderful game and a must if you guys like Batman, or even if you don't, it is still a very good experience. But if you don't like Batman, I'd recommend obviously not buying a Batman game. What are you doing here? But yes, overall it is a must if you like the Arkham franchise, and generally if you just like VR, Batman Arkham is a must, and I rate 7 out of 10. Right, okay, jumping in at number 4 though was PlayStation VR Worlds. Overall, I've got to give that game a solid 8 out of 10. It is wonderful. It is probably the best game to start off for anyone who's just got PlayStation VR. I highly recommend it. It's got 5 great solid titles on it. The Heist and Shark Encounter on Ocean Descent are my 2 main picks from that game, but 8 out of 10, graphics wonderful, gameplay wonderful, overall a beautiful game. Now number 3, Accounting VR. Oh, was I surprised by this game. I just learnt that the Rick and Morty people have made a game called Accounting, and it is humorous. That's all I heard about, and I just went straight and bought it because I love Rick and Morty. And then, oh my god, what a joyous 2 or 3 hours of my life that was. I have replayed it since, so about 6 hours I've spent in this game, and I have hoovered up everything. I have the Platinum Trophy. Very good trophy value is one point I would like to mention. Gold trophies galore. And Platinum Trophy only takes about 2 hours. But yes, beautiful, beautiful game. Highly recommend. I will rate Accounting Plus, I'd say 8.5 out of 10. It was a wonderful game, a bit short, and that damn zoo level will constantly stay hidden. If just, overall wonderful game. Right, okay though, jumping in at number 2 is Super Hot VR. Solid 9 out of 10, straight up. Very good game. The only reason I've deducted a point is because it doesn't really have much of a story. It is a kind of piece together story. I would have liked a bit more of a campaign, but it is generally solid, beautiful. Now jumping in at number 1, Astro Bot VR. Nothing needs saying, just look at the footage from before. 10 out of 10, beautiful game. Yep, that's all I can really say. Wonderful graphics, wonderful gameplay, solid 10 out of 10 game, replay value massive to hunt down all the Astrobots. Right, let's jump right into this outro, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching one of my first top 5s, and for now, peace!